Hello and welcome to Flory Models Kit View Time. Today we've got Dora Wing's latest release. Here we've got the 1/48 scale Beaver, iconic utility aircraft that's been around that for many years and is obviously still in use today. So, as you can see, nice little bit of box art on the front, nice colourful one, obviously with the grey and obviously the aluminium and a little bit of the old orange on there as well. All right, so quick run round on the box, some of the other bits and pieces that they've done. All right, kit number for this one is 48059. And obviously we can see it down in there with the Air Force One on there like that. Feels something's big and chunky in here. So inside the box, we are greeted by a good chunk of decals, and we got a little bit, and we got a zip bag with the clear parts. So I assume we're a little sticky bag in here. So all sprues like that, very nicely done. All right, so as always though, we will start with the old instructions, and we've got the decals in there as well, and a lovely little bit of photo etch, very nice. All right, so going right the way through, obviously got all the parts call outs down in here. Then it looks like we have so we've got instrument panel photo etch, and I assume we may have got down in here as well. We've got some decals for it. So you're going to sandwich and laminate all of those in there. Perfectly acceptable, no problem at all. Rudder pedals, things like that, all being fitted down in there, the yoke system and everything else. We've got harnesses as well, which is a really nice touch with the kit, onto the seats. Then we've got the floor into the actual main cabin area with the rear seating being placed in there just like that. All right, rear bulkheads and front bulkheads being put in there along those lines. And then obviously parts for the side ones onto the base of it, and then we're sandwiching all four parts together down in there. We've got a roof lining down in here and for the rear as well. Then on the front, we've got sort of the firewall system being fitted down in here. It's talking about the windows being put in, which is nice because it looks like they're going on the outside, which means you can actually do them afterwards, after it's been painted. Doors being fitted, again, quite nice. You have the doors open or closed then on this position, right the way through. Tailplane obviously being done, really nice detailed engine all the way through. So we've got a nice detailed radial engine at the front. Then obviously we've got the gear legs being fitted down in here, the engine fitted. Then I suppose you could have this with the engine showing around the cowlings. Obviously you can do it in one if you want to, right the way through. Tail rudder system being fitted down on here. We've got the air scoop being fitted onto those ones. And then obviously we've got some more of the lumps and bumps, things like that across the roof being fitted down in there, depending on the variant that you're doing. Wings right the way through. Again, nice touch. We've got separate flaps and ailerons down in there like that. And then obviously we've got the prop being fitted to the front. Then we've got the weir, all the actuators, counterweights, things like that. Air scoops being fitted onto this one. Tail wheel, main gear fitted, and then obviously the prop going on down in there. So again, really nice one. And actually this is RAF Bentwaters, which is obviously in the UK. So I didn't realise we had them over here. So there we go. We've got a nice Beaver from there down in 1960 for an Air Force search and rescue bird. All right, we've got an Army one as well from Germany in 1962. And then we've got another one down in here in Seoul in 1953. All right, some very nice different options down in there. And then last up, we've got one from New Jersey as well in 1965. Again, really nice with the black, and I assume this is the white on top and the grey on there, just like that. So all in all, very nice. Colour call-outs down in there, Mr. Hobby, Tamiya, Hataka, Life Colour, and MiG Ammo. All right, so very nice indeed. Then, as I said before, we've got your decals in a nice zip bag. All right, so again, we've got the decals themselves, which is very nice, as you can see. We've got the photo etch, which is very nice, and we've also got a die cut mask set for this as well. So again, some really nice touches with all three of these in here like that. All right, so as you can see, looking very nice, good color color all the way through here as well, looking very nice with the decals in a sort of satin finish right the way through, but generally looking very nice. And then down in here we've got the Army in the white and the US Air Force in the black as well, so with all of those just like that. So let me just grab those up and put those nicely back in the bag for the moment. Okay, so into the plastic itself. In one, we've actually got the main fuselage section. Again, really nice recessed riveting all the way under this one. Really nice. And on the roof, so beautiful work with all the actual riveting onto this one. Looks very good. We've got the cabin floor, and obviously we've got the footwell areas down in here for the pilot and co-pilot, and obviously for the stuff in the back as well. looking very, very nice. Again, lots of all different holes if you're going to be opening them up. Keep an eye on your variants that you're doing for opening those up, because otherwise if you forget, you're going to be struggling to find all of those, I think. All right, then we got the side. So again, it's like that box effect of it all going through. But again, if you look at the detail on those, that's really very, very nice indeed. No real details on the inside, but what we don't have is any ejector pins on the inside, which is another nice touch as well. All right, then we've got all the rest of the components down in here as well. So here we've got the gear, we've got some areas around some of the bulkheads, looking very, very nice. And again, no ejector pins, all nice and smooth on the inside, which is quite a nice touch with these ones. All right, so we've got some of the control surfaces. These are raised, so the ribbing in these is all raised. Instrument panel, straight off the bat, you've got the two types here. You've got the one with the bezels molded in, or the plain one for decaling, and then obviously you're going to be using the photo etch as well right across the front on those ones, so that's very nice. So we've got a rogue part on the float down in here. All right, then obviously some of the gear parts, looking very, very good as well. I assume this is skis here, but maybe a different version. So we've got one on skis, so expect to see things like that coming down the line. Nice engine with the radial engine down in here and all the parts, and this is all the counterweights and things like that down on here. The spinner, things like that for the prop and all your engine parts. Got the exhaust down in here. Got the main ring, looking very nice indeed with all of those. That's very good. More engine parts. Again, looking very nice. The small parts are beautifully done, really, really crisp. Got the flight yokes down in here. We've got some of the areas. Got a little bit of flash on some of the parts, but to be honest, I'm going to forgive it because this is, well, one, it's Dora wings and they're beautiful kits. Just a little bit of flash on some of the parts down here, but they are very, very fine. And you don't get any ejector pins with them, which is brilliant. All right, some more of the main surfaces down in here. Again, raised ribs all the way down in here for the actual on the areas. So on the control surfaces, some really nice detailed riveting down in here as well on the actual tail. So again, nice, good, clean. You can see how clean the molds are, beautifully done. And then down on the wings, some of that beautiful detail on the wings as well. Really, I know it's all recessed and obviously it should be raised, but again, we've had this little chat before in some of the other reviews we've done recently. But actually, I think you can get away with it. A simple wash right the way over it makes it all pop and come to life. Very, very nice. And we've got the other underside of the wings. Again, some really nice details down in here. And again, little areas like the strengthening plate underneath here for the wing brace is raised. And again, you can feel it right the way through. We've got the access panels, all these different bits and pieces down in there as well. And again, these little edges just down in here should have them. It's not flash, it generally should have these bits down in here. So again, very, very nice for the actual flaps. And again, beautifully done. No ejector pins anywhere on this kit, which is a very, very nice touch indeed. Lastly, we've got the clear parts. Again, it's a little separate bag, which is nice. And again, crystal clear. Look at the front windscreen, beautifully done. All the other parts, and again, this is why I like it. It's nice, it's all in here. We can mask this, we can mask it up, prime it up, and then obviously put the colour actually on these without fear of actually trying to get these tiny little glass parts in. So very, very nice. I'd rather see this than the others. And again, all the other glazing parts like the top panels, things like that, again, they can all be fitted after it's been painted. So you don't have to worry about masking these up. They can just be a drop-in fit afterwards as you make your way through, if that's your preferred way of construction. But generally, very, very nice indeed. And there you have it. I have to say, it's a beautiful little kit. You know, let's face it, the Beaver, iconic workhorse, especially around obviously the sort of outback areas and things like that now, still going strong. And again, to this day, we've got a really nice kit to represent either the classics, or obviously you could do it as a modern one as well. Anyway, there we go. That is the Dora Wings 1/48 scale Beaver.